Hey guys, what's up? So in today's episode, I'm going to talk about a lot of gold related information, right? Now, since the stock markets began, gold has gained a reputation to basically move in the opposite direction as the stock market. And there is a reason for it. Because when the market goes up, people usually invest in the stock market. And when the market becomes very volatile and starts going down, that is when people move their money into safe haven assets like gold. Now, gold has also in the past beaten inflation over decades, right? And gold basically acts as a safety net when it comes to markets that are in decline phase. Since the price of gold usually never fluctuates too much and they don't, move as much as it's supposed to, but then it gives great returns over a long period of time. Now, coming to recent events and coming to the recent scenario, equity markets have definitely been volatile in the last few months, more so than the Russian-Ukraine invasion happened, which sent the entire oil markets for a toss. We saw the commodity prices surging. Even your basic benchmark indexes like BSE Sensex were also down by 15% in the last 1 year in 2022. Now, obviously, at present, it is definitely slightly higher on the risk side when you want to invest in the stock market, right? And this can basically go from bad to worse, because if you see that the problems that are happening from a macroeconomic standpoint, that is also becoming a classic trigger. Now, gold as an investment can be looked at as a long-term good strategy inside your portfolio, and I did a recent video about where I'm going to invest in gold as well. Now, why invest in gold? There are some benefits, right? Some of the benefits that investing in digital gold, for one, is that the investor can take physical delivery of the gold at his or her doorstep as well. Now, another advantage here, that because it's very highly liquid, it is one of the easiest assets to buy and sell anytime, anywhere. Now, the digital gold can also be used as collateral for online goals. So not only is it purchased, but also can be used as a store of safety, but is also insured by a 100%, right? So this is why online gold looks very attractive. Now, there are some companies that offer digital gold. In India, I think there is Augmont Gold, there is Digital Gold India, there's MMTC PAMP as well. But there are other platforms or other applications like you can see Grow, PhonePe, and even your Paytm, right? These guys offer avenues to invest in digital gold. Now, some of the reasons why you would invest in digital gold is basically, we know that the Indian culture also has a lot of emotions attached to the gold ecosystem, right? Since the past, we have been investing in gold, and financial investment is not just a matter of heart, because we can't invest like that, but we need to look at more of a practical reason before we start making an investment into gold, because for us, it's a long-term play, not a short-term play. Now, some people would say, yeah, there is GST, Shashank, there are other charges, but if you keep it for a long period of time, you will not have a problem. Another very good reason why people consider investing in gold is also for a backup, right? In case something goes wrong, because it is a very highly easily liquidatable asset, it becomes very easy for you to liquidate that, and you can start selling the gold, so that you can basically get your emergency fund sorted. So if there is something wrong, an emergency happens, you can liquidate the gold, and then basically you become completely fine. Now, ideally, it is better to invest in digital gold because you get instant liquidity, whereas in physical gold, there might be some kind of additional charges because you have to go to that particular person. The rate might fluctuate there. So all of these problems are there. Now, another good point that we look at while investing in gold is also hedging. Now, gold prices often appreciate alongside rising inflation rates and depreciating dollars. So whenever we saw inflation rates going up, we saw the gold price going up. Now, there is a reason for this, because investors usually look to buy gold as a hedging asset when they realize that their money is getting lost, right? Now, this follows the general logic that gold often maintains its value or sometimes even appreciates when the dollar starts falling down, or when the market start going down. People are like, let me remove my money from the market and let me invest in something more secure like a gold, right? So it basically acts like a safe haven. And again, gold is not directly impacted by interest rate decisions. It cannot be printed in unlimited supply. It's always finite. So these some advantages basically come with respect to gold. Now, another reason why people use a gold a lot is basically for managing their portfolio risk. Now, obviously, we diversify our portfolio a lot, and because gold has a negative relationship to the stock market, it makes more sense to add gold into your portfolio, so that if your stock market portfolio goes down, then your gold allocation which you have put, your gold price starts going up. And basically, because it's a precious metal, and if it is there in your account, so even in a bear market, the value of this precious metal will always go up, right? And another reason why, again, gold would be great apart from managing risk and hedging is also because of diversification, right? If I am diversifying my assets right now into the stock market, into gold, into other investment classes, basically I am hedging myself, I'm managing my risk, and I'm diversifying across different places. Now this is basically good for people who don't like volatility in the stock market, right? Because if there is too much volatility in the stock market, you will definitely get scared and you will sell at a loss. Now another advantage of say gold is basically it will always be valuable. Gold basically does not have any such problems when it comes to pricing of gold, right? It's the only speculative investment that isn't also a liability for someone else, right? Now gold prices have obviously never fallen to zero. It is always going up. In its 3,000-year-old history, gold has only gone up. It has never gone down and gone down to zero. So as a result, it will always be valuable and always be robust, even if the world market falls apart, right? So if all of that happens, still you will see that the gold is doing really well. Now some key points to consider while investing in gold. To find out exactly if it's even a good idea to invest in gold in 2022, you must try to look at the cons of investing and not just looking at the pros, right? Now when you look at the cons and the pros, only then you can make a sound decision of investing. Now let's look at some cons, right? When you invest in gold, in physical gold, you will see a lot of charges. You have making charges, you have GST, and you'll have other hidden charges. You'll have convenience fees, a lot of different charges, right? So whenever you invest in physical gold, you should definitely look at all the charges that are incurred there and then factor that into your cost of return. In India, we have GST, right? So we have minting charges, making charges, and all different types of hidden charges depending on where you're buying that gold from. So if it makes sense, you would rather invest in digital gold online, which might have less hidden charges, and avoid these making charges. So hoga hi nahi, but at least hidden charges will be much lesser, right, compared to the physical gold. Now safety issues come into the picture, right? If you look at physical gold, you have to store this physical gold somewhere. If you keep it in your house, chori hone ka chances is very high. If you put it in a locker, then how much can you put, right? Imagine you're buying more and more, it becomes a problematic situation. Whereas digital gold, you can just keep investing every month as a portfolio hedge, and you keep investing in it, and that way there is no loss to it also, because nobody can come and steal it, right? So basically digital gold or SGB, which is your sovereign gold bond, can be a better alternative to invest in gold rather than investing in physical gold. That is what I would suggest, right? Now understand one more thing, right? Important thing about gold, that it is not something that provides you dividends, right? This is one drawback. Now the value of gold appreciates with time, so only if you hold gold for a long period of time will it be beneficial for you, and that is a clear buy, hold and then sell strategy, right? So you cannot say that, Shashank, I want to invest right now and dividend income nahi aaya. That is not going to come. Now how can you invest in gold? Now there are multiple ways of investing in gold, and in this section we're going to talk about that only. Okay, now first we have gold ETFs. Now gold ETFs are funds that invest in physical gold. So all you need is a demat account, a trading account, and a payment of brokerage fees, which is usually around 0.25 to 0.5% of the cost of the gold ETF, and then you're good to go. So it's very easy for you to go and invest via a gold ETF, and considering the performance of gold rates right now, gold ETF would be a better option to invest in gold again instead of physical gold. So if you're taking some real profitable returns, or if you want to take real profitable returns, then digital gold in the form of say gold ETFs would be great. Now there are some popular gold ETFs in India. You can check out Invesco India Gold ETF, Kotak Gold ETF is also there, SBI Gold ETF is there. Now to be more slightly technical, gold ETFs invest your money in 99.5% pure gold, and about 90% of your invested money is invested into physical gold, while the rest, if remaining, any money is remaining, will be invested into fixed income or debt income instruments, right? So please understand this from a technical standpoint. Next, we have something called as gold FOF, which is also known as gold fund of funds. Now, gold fund of funds, also known as gold saving funds, is a mutual fund that only invests in gold ETFs. So ETF was in physical, but this invests in gold ETFs. Now, the upside here again that investors don't even need a demat account for this. It is very simple and easier than investing in a gold ETF. So if you're new to investing and you don't have a demat account, then gold saving funds are a safe bet to play, because you have to worry less about tracking the performance of your ETF or tracking the performance of your investment again, and then you keep thinking about what is happening. Also, you can do this into a very simple SIP method also and keep investing month on month, right? Now another type of investment allocation is called gold mining stocks. So investing in gold mining stocks is similar to investing in gold in the stock market, and the difference is just that the gold mining stocks are related to the companies that are attached to gold mining. Now, the performance of these stocks is more or less governed by the gold rates, while other factors that also should be considered while investing in such stocks. Why? Because there might be production stocks, production of the cost of the gold, right? Then there might be the management. If the management is bad, then you're in a big problem. Some fundamental issues might also be there. So you need to be very clever when you do all this, right? Another avenue of investing is your physical gold, gold bars, jewelry, gold coins. Now we spoke about this, right? Physical gold, there are some drawbacks, but investing in physical gold is also one of the oldest method of making gold investments, right? I'm just being open about everything that is there in the market. So whenever you buy gold, it is basically a gold investment, right? But since we are strictly speaking on investment grounds, then there are two ways by which you can basically invest in gold. One is basically jewelry, which has a lot of making charges and other costs, and the second is gold bars and gold coins. Now, gold jewelry can be easily bought from any jeweler, and the return rates purely depend upon the current gold rate. Although gold bars and coins are not very different from the jewelry, they differ in the fact because they are made from pure gold and they do not include any kind of making charges. Now, if you want to invest in physical gold, then gold bars and gold coins will be slightly more profitable than actually buying gold jewelry. Next, we have something known as equity based gold funds. Now, the vendor that provides equity based gold fund basically invests your money into companies that are connected to mining and extraction of gold, or they are responsible for the marketing of gold. So either way, they're directly or indirectly linked to gold. Now, the systematic approach and the skilled management of funds are of great importance here, because that will basically determine the performance of these companies beside just the gold rates. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a quick comparison chart here. Now, as you can see, there is a clear difference between physical gold, digital gold, gold ETF. Now, if you see, there is no minimum and maximum investment. Now, if you look at security protocol, higher theft probability is there in physical gold, whereas digital and gold ETF are very safe, right? Now, apart from that, will it be used as collateral? Loan available from formal and informal lenders when it comes to physical gold, whereas the other parts, you will see that the loan will be there in the form of formal lenders, whereas in digital gold, loans will be available very soon. Now, what about liquidity, right? Physical gold is highly liquidity, but even if you look at all the other things, they're also very liquid. Now, what about purity? Now, when you go to physical gold, there might be issues with the purity of gold, whereas if you look at digital and gold ETF, there is no issue with purity. Now, coming to the expenses. Now, physical gold, if you see, has making charges and GST. Digital gold has one problem, which is the spread in buying selling price, right? Sometimes the buying price and selling price, there will be a difference there. Gold ETF basically will have an expense called the expense ratio, where the small amount of money will go there, and sometimes there might be a tracking error. It might not be tracking the gold price exactly, right? So all of these things basically are advantages over here. Now, if you look at returns, which is your dividend type of returns we spoke about. Now, if you look at physical gold, there is no carry benefits. Digital gold, no carry benefits. Gold ETF, no carry benefit, right? Now, coming back. Now, before moving on to the conclusion, let us quickly talk about what different types of taxes are imposed on gold investments under the Income Tax Act. Now, a wealth tax is imposed on investments over 30 lakhs and the tax amount is 1% of the total investment amount. Apart from that, 20% capital tax is imposed on physical gold and on ETF. Next, let me show you analyzing trends. Now, Q1 gold demand was 34% above Q1 2021. This was basically driven by strong ETF inflows. Now, in a quarter that saw the US dollar gold price rise by 8%, the Russia-Ukraine invasion and the surging inflation were key factors for driving both the gold price and the demand. Now, gold ETFs had their strongest quarterly inflows since Q3 2022, which was fueled by safe haven demand. Now, according to WGC, which is the World Gold Council, this is the data below. And as you can see the data below, you will see that this is a rising trend where you see the gold rates rising. Now, gold has given a compounded annual growth rate of approximately 9.4% over the last 20 years. Now, please understand, past performance does not guarantee future performance, but basically gold acts like a hedge to inflation right now. Now, here are some key takeaways. India's love for gold is well known. To Indians, gold is more than just a means of investment. It is often associated with social status, wearing good jewelry, and good financial well-being, right? However, the gold price has always maintained an upward trend. Now, in recent times, there has been a steep rise in its price, which has made it very difficult to buy for many people who want the yellow metal. But moreover, when you are buying physical gold, you need to concern yourself with its purity, because you need to check that, get a certificate for it. You need to check the making charges, additional charges and taxes, which often push the price further above, right? Now there are difficulties of holding gold as well. Now difficulties of holding gold along with scarcity and some of the other reasons behind rising popularity of digital gold. Now because digital gold is the new thing right now and you have seen everyone talking about it, it is much better than buying physical gold. You rather buy digital gold, right? And if you are planning to, then you should definitely consider investing in digital gold. Digital gold will basically save hefty charges and making charges, all of that will go away, and it will also let you accumulate lot of gold in small parts, and also you can redeem lot of gold in small parts. Now where you buy from, you can buy from a lot of places that I've told you. Now basically these different types of qualities have made this digital gold popular across the spectrum of the Indian society. Now if you found this video interesting, then please guys click on that like button, and if you have some time, thoda bahut time hai, share it with your friends as well. This is me, Shashank Udupa, signing off. Take care. See you guys. Good night.